Hey there. When I was in my 20s, I was getting a master's degree in environmental education. And I was just out for lunch with one of my friends, eating a big salad. And afterwards, I noticed that my stomach was bloated and huge. And I was wondering what was going on. And that was the onset for me of IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome. And I was eating a salad. So I'm like, what's this? That's supposed to be healthy. Well, what I realized was the trigger was stress, emotional stress. How many of you deal with gut issues? And did you know that inflammatory bowel disease is on the rise globally and affects over 3 million people, adults in the US alone? Did you know that your thoughts and your beliefs, as well as your stress levels, could actually make your symptoms worse or better? If you want to delve deeper into understanding more about bowel issues, your thoughts, and how they affect you, then this show is for you. Episode 50, Conquering Crohn's Disease. I am so excited to share with you guys Mark Sewell's journey from, what did he say, from disease to life. And Mark has been symptom-free for over 20 years. But the thing is, when he was in college, he got a free ride to college and then had to quit to pay attention and take care of his health diagnosis of Crohn's disease. So I am so excited to share with you Mark's journey to health, because we want to provide you with hope and techniques for you to take back control of your health. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Randy. Hi, and hi to everybody that's viewing. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Randy, for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited, as you know, because I deal with this on a consistent basis, or have it, and besides just with clients, so I'm putting our names there now. But before we get into the show, if you're new to the show, welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. That means that you enjoy it. And if you are new, though, you might be wondering who I am and what's going to happen today. So let me answer those questions. Well, my name is Randi Light, and I am a peak performance coach. I'm a hypnosis instructor and a healer. And for the past 11 years, I've hypnotized thousands of children and adults to really break through anything that's in their way, including overcoming symptoms of diseases like Crohn's disease and irritable bowel syndrome and things like that. I'm also the author of a new book that's about to come out. I just have to figure out the name on peak performance, and the author of this book, The Essential Four, and the creator of the Essential Four system. It combines hypnosis with coaching and gives you everything you need to break through whatever is in your way so you can be your best version of yourself, so you can have hope and heal those symptoms of diseases. And I also have a deep passion for raising the consciousness of humanity and moving us forward into love. And that's part of why I share with you some amazing people who have done amazing things in the world. So let me just share a couple more things, and then we're going to get into the show. You already heard so much about a little bit about Mark, and I'm so excited to share his journey so that we can provide that hope for you. But if you're here now, let us know that you're here. Say hello, say where you're from. And if you have questions, please ask them. But the more you communicate with us, all kinds of positive things happen for you, for us, and including on Facebook. So say something. We've already got a few people saying stuff. I want to welcome you guys. Leanne, thank you for being a part of this. Val, thank you. She's sharing with a friend now. Yeah, that's a great idea. You guys send some of the love bubbles, hit the love bubble or the like button and whatever, so that they go across the screen. That's really great. And let other people know, because there's, like we know, 3 million people already dealing with this. So you can share this with friends as well. And all right, so I'm super excited, and we're about to get started. I want to make sure I shared everything. And honestly, whether you're listening live or listening to the recording, you can still say something, still share this, and just be a part of it, because we're always looking, whether you're listening live or listening to the recording, however you're watching or listening to this. Wow. Okay, you guys, Mark, here we go. So Mark,
Hey.
I got to ask you, what was going on in your life? Was there something going on? Were you dealing with intense stress that maybe had triggered the symptoms of Crohn's disease?
Well, number of things. I had just started my sophomore year of college. I had just got married, so I was a newlywed.
Congrats.
Living on our own with a person like that in a new relationship in a way that had never happened before. And even though I had a full scholarship, I was studying electrical and computer engineering, so the classes were getting increasingly difficult. And it wasn't the ability to handle the classes, it was my inability to have reasonable study skills. So I grew up not having to study, never took it home from high school, got to college and like, oh, wait a minute, I have to try. So there was a number of layers there that happened all at the same time that, but I was diagnosed probably, let me think, it was probably within 3 months of getting married.
Wow. Okay. So that, it sounds like you had a lot of internal pressure.
Yeah, I probably didn't show it externally, which may have made it even worse.
So what was your thoughts during all that time? Do you remember?
I don't remember specific thoughts. I do remember just thinking, gotta go, gotta do this, gotta do that. It felt like there was a constant stream of shoulds.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Because you're all new at the beginning. And what was interesting for me is when I shared when mine started, was when these stress levels settled down a little bit. It was too intense in the trimesters and working and everything. And then when it just settled down a little bit, boom, it was very interesting. So what were your symptoms?
Well, one of the biggest symptoms is, of course, you have severe diarrhea. I actually lost a lot of weight. Well, a lot of weight for me. I was always skinny, but 6'2", and I was down to 139 pounds, wow, which is really small. I looked really bad. I had dark circles under my eyes. I'm like 210 pounds now, so it's a lot of difference. But that was really small, and it affects your strength and your endurance and other aspects that all play into it that just kind of tend to snowball. So you do start off with those symptoms, and then all of a sudden you have fatigue, and then you can't do anything. Then they put you on medicines, and then that causes a whole nother range of problems as they're trying to fix the one problem.
So I have to say, you guys, Mark has been symptom-free for 20 years, and he is now a thriving hypnotist and transformation coach. So what he's going to share, he can also share and help you in your journey. Okay, so all of a sudden you decided you look really bad, and so then you went to the doctor?
Felt really bad. Yeah, actually, we were living in a college town, Columbia, Missouri, which is University of Missouri, Columbia, Mizzou, and came back here to Springfield. My mom and dad still just took me to the doctor here because I really didn't know what to do, to be honest. I'd never had to deal with any kind of illness before in my life. And so he did all the testing, the drink the barium, all of that. And then they finally came in and gave me the diagnosis. And it wasn't like, oh, you've got this and we can give you this and you'll be all right. No, it was more of it's going to be rough. They were telling things, that just basically damping expectations. And fortunately, I was young and naive and cocky enough not to take too many of those to heart.
That's really important. I tell my clients when they come that there's a statistic out there that says up to 80% of people who go to the doctor and get diagnosed with cancer or anything else, but then are given the forecast that up to 80% will die right around the day the doctor tells them. So 80% accept the belief and 20% rebel. And you're one of those 20% that said no. Yeah.
And I'm not normally a rebeller, but in this case, when it had to do with me, I simply I refused to lay down and accept it.
I want to say hello from Sweden, Margarita. Welcome. Hello. How awesome. So we really, this is like the most important thing. So, because most people, when they're in front of that authority figure, they're technically, nobody hypnotized them, but what comes out of the doctor's mouth, they believe. So I know for me, a doctor told me I was going to have to deal with the back issues for the rest of my life. And I knew right then and there that he should not have said that to me. And I'm like 23 years old, but it still got in,
Sure.
it still formed that belief. But so at that moment, when he gave you this prognosis of things going bad, you said what? You said, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm sure I didn't rebel openly to him. And I did take the steroids that he put me on at the time. But internally, I knew this was something that I could figure out.
How did you
I've always
know? What's that?
I've always had confidence in my own intellectual abilities. So if it was something to be solved, I just knew I could figure it out. Whether I really could or not is another matter, but I came in with that belief. And you and I both know how important belief is to this process. And that what I say would be one of the very first steps is believe that you can be better. Really believe it.
Okay. But I also, you took the steroids so that gave your body like it was like the quick start to help it to heal.
Sure. And medications can be helpful in crisis times. I'm not here to tell anybody what medicines they should or shouldn't take. I know for me, even though they did help temporarily with that, steroids caused some other severe problems for me. I got very depressed. I got mean, and I put my fist through a wall, and things that are just normally, people that know me know that's completely not me.
Was that prednisone?
Yes.
Yeah, that's intense.
And
okay, so it may not have been worth it, you don't think, necessarily?
Well, short term, sure.
How long were you on the prednisone for?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. Very few months.
Okay.
But it caused academic problems in school as well. So not only was I fighting the disease, I was fighting depression, not wanting to go to class, and everything else at the same time. So yeah, those together created some real problems at school.
And did it help the symptoms of the Crohn's go away?
It did, and I have to attribute some of that to the medication. Like I said, when you're in crisis mode, there are times you need to do something in addition. But even medicine wouldn't have helped as much, I don't think, if I just given into the diagnosis.
I read a book on Crohn's disease because it runs in my family, and this woman who overcame Crohn's disease too, she was so skinny, but she went to like a place where other people were there too, and they fed you and everything, but they required you to like chew your food. Like it was specific food and chew. You had to like chew and chew and chew and chew until there was you were barely eating. I mean, it was so broken up. But eventually she, overcame it. And it was her journey on that. So it's fascinating. I don't think she took the prednisone, but let's get back to beliefs. So you just deep down, it was like you took it on as a challenge, would you say?
I did. And of course, this is way pre-internet days. I had to go to health food stores and try to find books. And it was even barely mentioned in the books back then. So I did do some things from a nutritional perspective as well, which actually helped feed into my belief that I could affect my own outcome.
Like what?
Probiotics. I found some good probiotics to take. I also took fish oil. And then one thing that I didn't do intentionally, but actually played a part, now I realize in the disease, is I actually got a job where I worked very physically and I worked outdoors. So I was getting both exercise and vitamin D. Both of those things are known to affect the course of an illness. So I actually went to work for the post office delivering mail and instantly worked harder than I had in my life and was out in the sun every single day. And I have to say, because when that neurosurgeon told me I was going to have to deal with the back stuff, I started healing when I got a low stress job, and that is a low stress job, right? Once you got physically able.
What's that?
It was back then.
Yeah.
It became more stressful over the years, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and I think that plays a huge role, that you could move your body, you could be outside, and you could have a low stress job, like you knew you could do your job.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so all right, wonderful. So exercise outdoors, and would you agree then completely that part of it was a low stress job?
It was not just about being low stress. It was that I was able to expend any stress in energy that I was able to work out with exercise. So yes, there were stressors involved, but at the same time, you could push through and exercise with the work, and it helped balance that out, what stress there was.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. So continue on, please.
Okay. So I got that job, and a lot of it, I didn't understand what I was doing back then. I was just kind of working through it, trying to figure it out. Obviously, I didn't know hypnosis back then. I've only been a hypnotist for a couple of years and only full-time for a few months. So, but as you and I talked about earlier, everything's hypnosis, right? It's everywhere. And a lot of what I was doing back then, I realized was a form of hypnosis, and that is the way I talk to myself. So the way I would talk about this illness, I never thought of myself as someone that had a disease. That thought never entered my mind. It was this problem over here that I needed to solve. So automatically, those of you hypnotists out there realize association, dissociation, right? I was dissociated from my diagnosis, and I think that's important. I hear people all the time, and especially people that have been diagnosed for years and years, they'll talk about my sciatica or my Crohn's disease or my whatever it happens to be. And that's fully associating into the disease. And I think that's very, very unhelpful because they're owning it at a level that doesn't give them space to heal.
I did it during this interview. I said my back, issues. So it doesn't give them space to heal. Can you elaborate on that more?
Well, when you do hypnosis work, you understand that a lot of work you do, you dissociate the client from maybe the experience. Part of what we do is associate, dissociate, collapse, things like that. Being able to dissociate from it, so it's this thing over here, it's not here, gives you space. It allows you to be open to the possibility of healing. Whereas if you are concentrated on this thing that you're holding tight, it doesn't really leave that much room. This is my opinion, of course, but that's how I look at it.
And it works for you.
It doesn't allow room for that true healing to come in. And it doesn't allow room for the belief that the healing can come in, because this disease is constantly a part of you and constantly on your mind when it's fully associated.
So when you're disassociated, it's not fully on your mind. You're living your regular life.
And it is that thing, but it's not, you're not holding it close. It's a problem. It's a puzzle. You'll figure it out. It's not a lifelong sentence anymore. At least that's how I looked at it.
When did you start noticing that you were getting better?
I started getting better pretty quick. It was just a few months. I was already feeling better. And then working at the post office, doing the things I did, I started feeling even better. I did have a relapse in the mid-90s, and that was marital problems, going through divorce, all the normal things that can set you back in anything you're dealing with, right? So when I went through those things, I did have some relapse, and I did have a few problems, but I didn't stay there, and that's the key. So I'm not here claiming that I could never have symptoms again. I'm just saying this is my life now, 20 years symptom-free, and I'm going to own that, and I'm going to choose that to be my story. And if it does happen to rear its head again, I will still choose my story, and instead of letting it choose me.
Beautiful. That's really important. Thank you for sharing that. And I hope that you guys understand that. If you have a question about that, if you're watching this or listening live or listening to the recording, please say hello, say something. We want to know that you're here. And if you have questions, are you dealing with issues, and do you have beliefs that are in your way? If you do, say something now so that you can use some of the expertise here right now to help you break through something that you've been thinking about. How can you become more disassociated? How can you change that BS, that belief system, and the bullshit? So say something right now, you guys. If you want to know more and really get in touch with what Mark is actually doing, so that he's not focusing on the disease, but instead he's focusing on what? The health, I'm good enough to overcome this, I deserve this.
Focusing on what I want and not what I don't want, which is a very fundamental principle, right? And I would say that one of the things to remember is it doesn't have to be all or nothing thinking. You don't have to come into this thinking, I can be 100% cured. But if you're really suffering, maybe you can be 25% better. And maybe that's a start. And maybe that's all you can believe right now. And that's okay. We can work from there. But 25% for some people is life-changing. And when they get 25%, maybe they can believe for 50% or more. And we can work from there.
And being patient with yourself, I think, is super important because you can start to make all the changes and it doesn't necessarily show up as quickly in the body. It took a long time to create a disease, and so it can take some time, sometimes not. But just like a tree, you don't know when a tree is sick. It's been sick for a long time, and until when it eventually starts showing symptoms of yellow leaves and things like that, it's been sick for a long time. And so then you start to notice it and start to take care of it, and it starts to get better, but then once again may not show up that it's better. And that can take a little bit of time. So be patient with yourself. Okay, so anything else? So what do you suggest for other people to overcome their diseases, and specifically Crohn's?
I really do think it starts with that mindset and that belief that you can have control over your own health. You can make an impact. And then you just have to start to work on your own inner world, your own inner thought life. What are you saying to yourself every day? When you think about whatever it is that you're suffering with, how does that come into your daily conversation with others and how you talk to yourself? Even if it's feeling ill and not wanting to do certain activities. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to do things that are going to cause you pain or hurt you, but don't think of it as giving in to disease. Give yourself some space to heal, but then you can also say, well, I can't do that, but I can do something. Start and make an effort to get the things that your body needs. Do some research. I am not a nutritionist, so I'm not going to give you a bunch of nutritional advice, but there's plenty of data out there. There's plenty of research out there that will tell you the kind of things that you can do to help give yourself good gut health. It's talked about more now than it was way back in the 80s when I was dealing with this. So that information is out there, freely available, and there are more options now than there have ever been. But no matter what you take, if you don't clean up that inner world, it's going to be a really hard battle to get through with just nutrition, I believe.
So what do you suggest people do to clean up their mind?
Well, I think you first have to be really open to it, and then be aware of, like I said before, how you talk to yourself. When you do catch yourself in those negative self-talk situations, whether it be getting down on yourself, whether it be associating too deeply into the symptoms of the illness or the illness itself, take a moment, take a breath. And if you have to, even as a visualization, just push it away, just to give yourself some room and say, that's not mine.
Yeah.
And then leave space for some healing. Focus on healing, and then believe that it's possible to heal. You've got to make, it's like Melissa Roth said in one of your former shows, you've got to make a conscious decision to be well. It's not something, so many people want that pill. that thing that they can do that's something they're not doing, but it's given to them, done to them, that will fix that problem. And it's not just in things like Crohn's disease. It has to do with weight loss and everything else. They want that magic bullet. But the magic bullet's your brain, your own mind, your own spirit. If you tap into those, and again, it's a long process. We could go on and on, and everybody's going to have a little bit of an individual journey, because not everybody thinks exactly the same or has the same sticking points. But the generalities here, I mean, I think can be helpful to everybody.
So is there anything else you think that made you succeed where other people are struggling?
Stubborn cockiness. I don't, I was really naive, you know, I didn't know much about the world. I just knew I could do it. I just knew at a deep level I could do it. So I didn't have any education in any of this at that time. This was just something that I did naturally, and some of it accidentally. But hopefully the fact that I did it and it worked will help other people.
When you say you knew at a deep level, what exactly did you know at a deep level?
That I had the ability in me to figure out and solve any problem.
You guys, do you believe that you have that ability to solve a problem? Say something right now. Let us know. Do you believe that you have the ability to solve a problem, no matter what that problem is, that you could get the resources, the tools, the external, like nutrition, the internal, the thoughts, the mindset? Do you believe that you have the ability to solve a problem? Write your answer now. Seriously, take a moment. And I love that is such a determination. That's such a, if you're a problem solver, I'm a problem solver. A lot of men are problem solvers. I know I'm not a man, but still I like to fix. I'm a fixer when it comes to people, whether that's the ability to, ideal or not. So Carol, yes.
My wife.
Yes. Hi, Carol. She made it. So
she's my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, someone that has always had my back and does absolutely believe that I could do anything. She's amazing. So
she wasn't with you when you were dealing with it?
No.
Okay, so thanks, Carol. And that's cool that you believe that too, for your own self, not just for your sweet man. All right, so I just think this is fascinating, and I do have to share one other thing. And in a couple of minutes, we're going to get into the Randi Light experience part of the show, where you get to be hypnotized to implement some of the things that you're learning about right now. But Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, let us know, say something. Also, so in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he discusses his journey. So he was run over by an SUV when he was riding a bike and he couldn't move. And they gave him the prognosis, and he did the same thing as you, Mark, and he didn't believe it. And he could not walk. They'd say, "You're never going to walk again." And so, he wheeled himself out of the hospital and began his journey of healing. And but one of the things that really struck me from one of my other shows that this lady was sharing about Dr. Joe, and she overcame Lyme's disease, was that he told everyone, look, for 2 weeks, I'm not going to talk about my situation. For 2 weeks, I'm not going to tell anyone about my symptoms. He's going to disassociate from where he is, because he wanted to only imagine and feel what he wanted. And so many people want to know how you are, and they ask how you're doing and things like that when you're in the midst of a situation, whether you're dealing with chronic pain or disease or anything else, and their care, but then you're back associated and it becomes yours more. So think about stop adding energy to it. Tell people you're not going to talk about it, or just say, well, I'm, working on this. And Mark, do you have anything you want to share about that?
Well, that's great. And I love Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. I first read his book, actually, You're the Placebo, before I read the previous one, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And a lot of it did resonate with me as ways that I had unconsciously dealt with some of these things. He displayed a certain amount of stubbornness in his ability just to listen to himself, listen to his own body, not necessarily take the medical advice. And I'm, of course, not advising anyone not to take medical advice, but to chart his own path and control his own health, because we do, in the end, we are responsible for our own health, not somebody else.
And so take charge of your health. Yeah, if you're given a prognosis that's not good, you don't have to believe that. You can use your stubborn energy and your problem solving and deep desire and passion to heal and to get well and do your best. And then so one thing you haven't mentioned is hypnosis. And I know that you had written that down as one of the key things to do. Do you do self-hypnosis every day? And what do you visualize when you do it? And
my goal is every day. It doesn't always happen every day, but it actually, as far as formal trance, I was actually a really poor subject, but through doing some of that work, I've been able to do better because I've worked on myself. But yeah, even things such as, I realized a long time ago, even without hypnosis, I was able to do things like quickly lower my heart rate and quickly change some of my skin temperature things like that pretty much are hypnotic, right? So I have fairly good access to that part of me, even without formal trance. So, but if you work on yourself, if you will do little things like that, like self-hypnosis and meditation, anything that's a regular practice, you can be better. You may not start off at the same place as someone else, but you can be better each day, and it can impact you through repetition. Even the worst hypnotic subject in the world, through repetition, we'll see improvement, we'll get better. So it's possible for all of us.
So do you think your engineering mind made you more of an analyzer resistor? That's what, because I certainly am, or was, I should say.
I don't know. And I don't want to analyze too much what the problem was.
But you're good now.
I want to focus on even being better. But I also realized that maybe some of my expectations at that time of what trance should be were completely wrong. And I realize now that I pretty much can go into trance at will. And it doesn't have to look like somebody else's trance. That doesn't matter. There's no comparison. There's no set way it should feel. So, and I learned a lot of that through learning pre-talk with my own clients and dealing with them that had some of the same problems, how to codify that in a way that they understood, so that it actually helped me understand.
All right, you guys, we have some gifts for you at the end. So, and right now we're going to do a hypnotic experience. And this is one of those moments where you want to stop what you're doing and actually, stop multitasking and sit down in a comfy chair or lay down so you can have the experience. And Mark, I encourage you to join us as well. And so, and then we'll offer you some things at the end. And all right, you guys, stop what you're doing. Sit down or lay down and get comfortable, as I am going to take you into a focused and relaxed state where you're more open and receptive, and I can deliver health suggestions, healing suggestions, and help you to get on your path of even better health and whatever it is you want. So with that being said, go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Hold your breath in for as long as you comfortably can. And when you let your breath out, tell yourself to relax and feel yourself relax as you imagine a sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And let's do that again. Next breath in, take a deep breath in, fill up your belly, hold your breath in for as long as you comfortably can. And as you hold your breath in, look up, above your eyebrows at your higher self and your intuition, your third eye. And then lower your eyeballs, tell yourself relax, and picture and even hear and feel a healing sound wave flowing through you as you breathe out from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. So you begin to feel like you're melting right there into the chair. And let's do that one more time. Deep breath in, hold your breath in, look up, connect with that higher self and intuition, and then lower your eyeballs, breathe out, and picture, hear, and feel a healing sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Now you can continue to deep breathe, you can resume normal breathing, or both. Either way, picture yourself at the top of a set of stairs. And just become aware of what your stairs are made of. And at the bottom of your stairs is a path that leads you to a place we can call your temple of healing. And that can be however your creative mind would like it to be. So as you are at the top of the stairs, begin to feel the warmth of the radiant sun, see the bright blue sky, and hear the sounds of animals welcoming you and greeting you. Now, every step you go down is going to double your relaxation, and every number you hear me say is going to double your relaxation. I'm just going to count from 5 to 1, and then you'll be on the path to your temple of healing. And when you arrive in your temple of healing, just imagine what it would be like to be 20 times more relaxed. So go ahead and begin taking a step down from 5 down to 4, and just let go even more. And then step down from 4 down to 3, and double that relaxation. And as you step down to 2, engage all your senses and see and hear and feel yourself relax and let go and drift down deep inside to a place inside you where things change, where things heal, where insight lives. So with the final count of 1, step down now and walk the path towards your temple of healing with a lightness of being, a lightness of being. Feel the warmth of the radiant sun on your skin and arrive now at your temple of healing. And notice there is a special entrance for you. This is a sacred space. When you enter a sacred space, you can honor all your relations. You can say something like namaste or ahoma takoyasin, or just honor all your relations. And enter into that sacred place because your temple of healing, however it looks or sounds or feels, is your place to relax, to let go, and feel even better than you do right now. So go ahead, walk in or float in, and become aware of what the ground or floor is made of, what's on the walls, the big openings, windows. I know I have a tree in mine. And there's a room there, a healing room. And you can go there now. There's a place there for you to sit or lay or float and just relax even deeper. Now, you can just relax even deeper by just focusing on my voice and what you're doing. And as you relax, allow my voice to relax you even deeper. And take a moment to decide what you want. As you already probably know and have heard, deciding on what you want and then focusing on it is a key factor for you getting what you want. So declare what you want. What do you want to have? What you want to be? What you want to feel? What you want to achieve? Learn, experience. And if you want some type of healing, maybe chunk it down a bit, meaning you want a 25% increase in that healing. You want to notice that your symptoms have reduced, relieved, completely or by 50% or 20%. You want to be your best version of yourself, perhaps. You You want to feel more calm and confident and in control. Declare your intentions, what you want. And as you do that, begin to allow yourself to know on a deep level that this is possible for you. You want to become aligned and congruent and allow a deep knowing that you can solve this problem, that you can do this. And a way to begin that so that every part of you is lined up to this knowing is right now declaring it. Now, as you declare, so that every single part of you is joining in with deciding what you want, begin to open your heart. Now, a wonderful, simple way to open your heart is to breathe in and out as if you're breathing in and out through your heart. Gets you out of your head and into your heart, activates your heart's intelligence. So just breathe in and out as if you're breathing in and out through your heart. And as you do that, you can invite your heart to open and see and hear and feel it opening. You also can imagine right now that you're breathing in like love or joy or gratitude. Breathe it in and out of your heart, a wonderful feeling of appreciation. Now you can go to a memory where you felt deep love or a deep positive feeling, an elevated mood of love or joy or appreciation. And you can relive that memory right now so you can access that wonderful feeling of love or joy or appreciation. And you can replay that scene when you're petting an animal, being held, holding someone. And you can feel that wonderful feeling right now. And you can amplify it and breathe it into your heart right now. So rewind and replay a scene where you feel absolutely wonderful and breathe that wonderful feeling into your heart. Breathe it into you and allow it to open your heart. And as you do that, and you feel even better, then picture yourself better, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. See the end results of the intentions, of the deep knowing of what you want. Experience it. You're doing things that you haven't done before, and you feel good doing it. Take a moment to picture, to hear, to feel those end results as if they already exist. Say thank you for the healing and feel it in your body, your mind, and your soul. Good. Very good. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I get to 5, I'll snap my fingers. And you'll be back in the present, but in a new mind, a new body, a new you, a new mindset, a new way of thinking, focusing on what you want more and more every day in every way. Starting right now with a count of 1, take a big, deep energy breath in. 2, speeding up with a lot of confidence and peace. 3, into the present with a new mindset, a new body, a new you. 4, speeding up with this wonderful belief, and the count of 5, open those eyes. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. And as you come back, say something. How did that make you feel? What did you want? Did something change for you or shift for you? Well, Mark, you've been an outstanding, wonderful guest.
Thank you. Thank you, Randi.
Yeah. Is there anything, any closing things you'd like to say to everyone?
It's a repeat of what I've said, but I just think it's so important that you believe in yourself, that you believe that it's possible, and at a deep level, know that you can accomplish this. When you have that, the rest of the pieces are so much easier, and you will seek out the help you need. Sometimes you do need help. Sometimes you need somebody to guide you through the process. Sometimes you do need additional resources, but that first step, if you don't believe it's possible, you're not going to get the help. You're not going to seek help. You're not going to try to find the information. None of those other things will happen. So start there. And with that belief, you can build anything on that.
So speaking of that, so if people want to learn more from you or work with you, how can they get a hold of you?
I should type my email address in there, but it is just mark@marksewell.com. Very, very easy. Send me an email. I'll be glad to talk to anybody, share my story, help in any way I can. And of course, I do have opportunities to work with me as well, because I can work at a distance.
Yeah, so you were going to give a special offer to everyone. Go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, a couple things really quick. If you want to buy a package of sessions for me, I'll give 25% off if you mention this specific show, but you have to mention this show. Also, I do a technique called mindscaping. It's a single session thing that can bring about change in a big area or a small area, and it's a change that integrates over days and weeks and sometimes longer. It helps with you produce your own internal metaphors. We landscape those in a way that helps you reintegrate them and make your journey to wherever your destination is very simple. And in that process, I'll do single sessions of those, just one per person for half price. If you want to try that, $75. And I'm glad to offer that to all of these people that have watched it and continue to watch this show.
Wonderful. So I encourage you to reach out to Mark and get that mindset shift and get that belief in yourself and that stubbornness to get what you want. And as you know, so I have a gift for you as well. You can contact me and get a Healing Your Body audio recording. So that can help along to reinforce the new neural pathways and new beliefs and really help you. I know a number of people who have used my audio recording. It's hypnosis, so it's a closed eye process, but it has gotten great results. And doctors have said things to patients like, what are you doing? And so, and it's complimentary. So just contact me and I will email or message you the audio recording. So, and if you want to reach out to me for private sessions as well, please do. And I encourage you to work with Mark, work with me, work with somebody, just get the healing that you deserve so you can have the life that you deserve. So Randi Light, Peak Performance Coach. And I do have to tell you about next week's show. Now, next week's show is the show now is on Thursdays if you're watching this through Facebook. And my guest at 12 o'clock next week is Josh Draper. Now, he's a comedian, he's a model, he's a drummer, and is the creator of Higher Wave, which is a Chicago-born, fully improvised experience that combines elements of traditional improv, live music, meditative soundscapes, and storytelling, and dance. It's going to be super cool. This guy is so creative, brilliant, and beautiful. And he has a lot to share in this world of bringing all the together. I know a lot of people lately are doing improv, so it's a cool opportunity. I hope to see you guys on the show next week. And thanks for being a part of this. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.